Hey everybody, I'm Sherronna Bishop.
I'm Bobbie Daniel, and we're here with Real Talk. We're talking about tax reform. Yay!
Should you be scared?
So, the individual tax credit for childcare is now, what was it, 1,000? Now
it's 1,000.
2,000.
Now it's 2,000.
But that's not going to help anyone. No, so go ahead and freak out.
Right now.
We'll give you a moment. Yes.
So good.
And what else is going to happen?
Instead of having a 37% corporate tax rate, which discourages businesses from coming to the United States, investing in our people, growing businesses here to put our people to work, it's now been reduced to 21%, which is competitive with the rest of the world. And that's really all we needed. We just need to be competitive so that people want to live here, they want to work here, they want to come here. Businesses will stay here. Corporations.
Ireland's corporate tax rate was 11.
11. Could you imagine? Why does this matter? Because if businesses, which by the way, they did build their own business. They came up with the ideas. They developed the networks. They developed the relationships with people to grow these businesses, to take their ideas to fruition. They did the footwork to create the businesses that they have. And for those of us in this country to say that they're not entitled to keep the wealth they create from that idea, work, effort, their own production, is just, it's morally wrong. It is not right for you to want what belongs to someone else. That actually has a name, and that name
is called jealousy.
It is jealousy. And what does it mean? I always dumbed it down for my kids, but it is a commandment not to want what belongs to someone else.
The desire for the unearned is the root of all evil.
It is. It's so wrong to say someone has, they have 100 of it, and I only have 5 of it, so I should get at least 10 of what they have. Why? Why don't you go figure out something to do? Why don't you figure out something you can do with your hands or something you can create, and you start talking to people in network? We all have the ability to do that here. So corporate tax rate being low is great for everybody. It means that the corporations and the owners of those corporations make more money, and they in turn want to spend more money and develop more.
There is not a corporate CEO and shareholders that are hiding a bunch of money in their mattress. Like, it doesn't work like that. They want to make more money.
And they'll take it abroad. If we won't accommodate it here like we have not done for the last 10 years, they'll take it abroad, which is what has happened. That's why Detroit is non-existent, along with horrible policies that robbed people and robbed people who are productive, who wanted to do stuff, who wanted to grow their city. Absolutely.
And I think that's the American dream, really. I mean, we don't talk about the American dream anywhere else. There's not the Australian dream.
There's not.
There's not the Germany dream.
The Norwegian dream?
No. It's the American dream because we have opportunity. And you have opportunity to create wealth, and the government protects your opportunity to do that, and it protects your private property. It protects your production.
It does not provide equity, equality of outcome. It does not provide that. The same labor I put into something does not mean I'm going to get the same return as my mentor in the same business who's been at this longer and is just better at it. She is getting a better return right now, but I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, I'm going to keep going. But I'm not entitled to what she is creating just because I want it.
No. And we don't teach this to our kids. When our kids...
I hope not.
No. So tell about that story when your child was playing with that toy.
Great story. When you're a parent, you're not really sure what you should do when you're around other parents. But thankfully, if you have good, strong moms around, they help you learn these things. Had 2 kids playing with toys. My kid was playing with a toy, and her son came over and wanted to play with the same toy. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, honey, go ahead and share. And the other mom goes, oh, no. No. He's not having that toy. He can wait. He can wait till your son is done playing with it. It's not right for him to come along and take what your son is already enjoying. No, he can wait. And I was like, oh, that was really great. Because it was my son's toy, and he's playing with it. And the other kid, and I said to my son, you need to share. And she's like, no, he doesn't. He does not need to share. He's happily playing with that toy. When he's done with that toy, then he can share the toy if he wants to. It's not right for me to say to my son, because someone else came along and wanted that toy, oh, you need to give it to him now. Even though you're playing with it and enjoying it and you had it first, you just need to give it. No.
Yeah, it's not right.
It's not right. It's not right. But sometimes when we want to be nice and we feel guilted and we feel ashamed and we're like, oh, we have so much. This is so not right. Yes, it is right. It's right. If you earned it, it's
Well,
right.
and here's the deal too. Here's another way to look at it. The stuff that you created creates benefit for the rest of society. And so if we really want to benefit the poor, to help them out, to create economic ladders, those notches in those ladders, we want to make sure that that mobility is there, then we have to have a government that protects the opportunity to do so. And by removing those notches in those ladders, by making it harder to climb up the economic ladder, that's not the American way.
Not the American way.
And it's not nice either. So it doesn't make you a good person just because you want to have equal outcome for everyone. Because for equal outcome, you have to take from someone else. And that doesn't make you a good person.
And we don't read biographies about people who had equal outcomes. We read biographies about people who were extraordinary, who rose further than anyone thought they could, where they were unmatched. Those are the things that inspire us as individuals to keep going and growing. We don't minimize what they did and extract from it and take away from it and give it to other people. We don't cut up an Olympic gold medal and give a part to everyone else who competed.
No.
The person who won, and we all are inspired from that to work harder and to do more and to be better. So,
yeah. So I was watering my plants, which this is seriously the
Great story. I love
first
it.
year that I've really taken on plant growing, I guess. Like, if you're not screaming at me, I'm not feeding you.
Right.
You know, that's kind of
Yes.
been like my mantra. Like, I'm not really that great at taking care of it, but I've really enjoyed taking care of these plants. My husband built me a flower bed for Mother's Day. We put these plants out there, and then when the wintertime came, I just couldn't let them die. I was like,
all that work.
I just can't. I worked really hard for you. Like, so I brought them inside. So now they're my houseplants. And we put up our Christmas tree, and this houseplant literally had to grow this new fern all the way like around my Christmas tree to get to the light. And I was watering it, and I was like, dang, like, I'm really impressed. Like, you had such self-interest in finding a way to make it work, plant. I'm really proud of you. Like, I was impressed. Awesome. And I thought, gosh, like, we're kind of like that. That's like human nature. This is Mother Nature. I'm seeing this in real life, like this survival and fighting to be productive and fighting to live. And we can call it Mother Nature. We can call it human nature. We can, there's lots of words for it, but I just thought, man, self-determination, like that is amazing. And so what kind of person would I be if I was taking away its sunlight? I was taking away its food. I was taking away its opportunity to grow. That doesn't make me a good person.
Oh, yeah. Self-interest isn't evil. It's not a bad thing. It's what motivates us. It's what inspires us.
Yeah.
The person going for the gold medal inspires us all to do better.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't make them a bad person because they won the gold medal.
No.
We all sit there and go, wow, that hard work that they had to put in.
Yeah.
And we don't sit there and go, well, he's a gold medalist because I created that for him. You didn't build that.
I didn't build that.
You didn't build that. That's our gold medal, actually.
You couldn't have done that without me.
Yeah.
Buying something off your shelf.
Right. And we don't villainize gold medalists either.
Do not.
And so I think the Olympics is a beautiful testament to the human spirit and that self-interest and self-determination. And when someone is successful, we shouldn't take their production away and give it to someone else who didn't work for it.
Under the guise of charity and under the guise of virtue. It's not. It's all about control.
Yeah.
And one last thought on this too. Watching the Disney Heiress video that's floating around Facebook right now.
Who's that? Who's Disney Heiress?
I don't even know what her name was. Honestly, I was so disappointed that someone in her position who, when someone earns wealth and they go to leave their wealth to their family, they are taxed. Whether you have an LLC, irrevocable trust of some kind. I worked for an estate attorney for a long time. And even though you have those things in place, you are still taxed. You're taxed the first time around on everything you ever did. And then if you have a little bit to leave to your family, or you have a lot like Walt Disney, and he chooses to leave his money to generations, not just to his immediate sons, but to the next generation. He has this great blessing of being able to bless his family for generations to come. And they are literally making videos and complaining about how they're not going to pay 37% tax anymore. They're only going to pay 21% tax, and that's just horrible because the rest of you are going to pay more tax. Well, that's a lie. First of all, it's a lie. Nobody is going to be paying more taxes except for maybe quite possibly the top 1% based on what your state deductions are. Not federal, your state deductions. So that's a whole nother conversation. But at any rate, it's despicable. It's despicable for someone like me to sit and watch someone profane the blessing they have from a family member who worked his butt off and lost everything. If you haven't seen the movie about Walt Disney, it's incredibly extraordinary. Again, an overcomer who, against all odds, made a mouse that everybody fell in love with, and he made millions and billions and, I don't think it's trillions, but he's made his billions. And
he provided a service.
He provided what we all wanted.
And we all voluntarily paid for that service.
And here she has guilt complex because she's inherited this wealth from her great uncle. She didn't earn it, so she's feeling bad. Yeah, she's feeling bad. It's come through this trust. Well, I really did think, I was like, oh.
Well, no one's stopping her from giving it to the government.
Exactly. Write that check, sister. You want to pay the government more, write that check.
Yeah, if you feel bad. And two, like, if you feel, honestly, you feel that guilty because you have wealth, then there's so many charities and there's so many amazing places that you can do and you can put it there. So the government is not your religion. The government, you shouldn't look to solve everything. If you feel a calling to maybe not have that trust fund or to take a bigger percentage of that trust fund and give it to whatever your calling is, then by all means do it.
You have the freedom to choose.
When your guilt forces other people to sacrifice themselves for your guilt, that's so wrong.
And to propagate the lie that a tax cut is bad for people is also extremely, it's just disingenuous. It's wrong. It's a lie. And I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
Disgusting.
Is it okay to say that?
Disgusting.